everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of 52-Week Movie Challenge. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody, and tonight we have an interesting episode for you. Just got done watching this movie. I've seen a couple times already, maybe three times, but I absolutely love it. So we'll get into that in a second. So I had to find a film with my favorite actor or actress, and beauty is I found a movie that has my favorite actor, uh, right there, favorite actor and favorite actress. I adore both of them. You might know them from like the Divergent series and stuff too, but let's not talk about that. Let's talk about The Spectacular Now, which was made in 2013. This date completed was 11/15/22. This is week 46, by the way. Um, the aspect ratio is 128 1, something like that, 118 1, something like that. I wrote that down wrong, I think. Whatever. Running time is an hour and 35 minutes. Drama genres, drama romance. It's rated R. My rating on this is 5 stars, and we'll get into that later. Starring Miles Teller and Shailene Woodley were my two favorite actors. But also has Kyle Chandler, who I love, Jennifer Jason Leigh, who I love. It's got Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who I love, and it's got Pop Odenkirk, who I love. Freaking Saul, it's just it's one of those movies that like has so many great people like working on it that you're just sort of like blown away by it. So it's directed by James Ponsolt. Ponsolt. I'm probably pronouncing that completely off, so I'm sorry, James. Um, it was produced by Sean Levy and a bunch of other people. But Sean Levy was the only person I like noticed, and I was like, "Oh shit, he produced." I kind of get it. It almost feels like a movie. If it weren't if it weren't feeling sort of independent in a way, he would have made it. It was written by Scott Neustadter. I'm probably saying that wrong, and Michael H. Weber. Well, I'm also a big fan of both of those guys, and they did 500 Days of Summer, which I absolutely love. They did this movie, and then they did like The Disaster Artist, The Fault in Our Stars, Paper Towns, which wasn't a huge fan of Paper Towns, but I liked most of the other ones a lot. Like 500 Days of Summer is still one of my favorite movies of all time, too. And that's up there with this one. Like both, I feel like those two are movies like I can watch at any time and just, I don't know, feel good. So music by Ron Simonson. Let's see, the awards I received was for Oglethorpe, um, Award for Excellence in uh Georgia Cinema, winner. And then it also won for Breakthrough Award for Brie Larson. Oh, forgot Brie Larson's in this movie. She was great as well. Um, why did you choose this particular film? Because it had two of my favorite actors in it, like together, dating, which I thought was great. Uh, have you seen this movie? Oh, why did I say? Have I seen this movie before? Yep. I wrote nope. I guess I'm used to saying nope. Would you recommend this film? Why or why not? Yes, yes, and yes. I'll recommend it to everyone. Let's see. Which character were you most able to identify with, connect with in one way? I had a lot of Sutter in me than I wished, and that sounded really gross. But yeah, not like that. I don't think. Best line or memorable quote. I am serious about not being serious was a great quote. we'll get into those because there's a couple quotes in this movie that I think are just amazing. Were you surprised by the ending, or what would you do differently? No, because I had a feeling it would have a happy ending. That's when I first saw it. That's how I felt. And I wouldn't change anything. Would you like to see the stars challenge themselves with a different genre? Which genre do you feel like they would do well in? Well, I said Miles Teller and Shailene Woodley have not been in many horror films, and they might have been in some horror films, but not many. That would be cool. But they would be great in anything they do. And anything else you'd like to add? I said, nope, watch it on HBO Max. So, I mean, so to get into this, so yeah, I picked this movie because, well, I mean, it had two of my favorite actors in it together, so it kind of kills two birds with one stone of like a film with your favorite actor or actress. Well, they're both in it, and also kills two birds with one stone because I just wanted to see this again. Like I honestly did. I hadn't seen it in forever. I was going on this A24 kick. I watched one of James's movies recently called The End of the Tour. That was really really good, but this movie is better in my opinion. And it's not because they didn't he didn't do a great job in The End of the Tour. It's just this movie's story to me really hits home. A lot of people who watch these things and watch what I do and everything probably already know this about me, but I had an issue with alcohol. I've been thankfully sober for I don't know where wood is, but knock on wood, to continue to be sober, but been sober for 9 years, and uh, this movie came out the year that I fucking quit drinking, so that's sort of funny. I didn't even think about that. 2013. So what? Hold on. You see what day it came out because this is kind of okay. September 13th, 2013. And so this movie really hits me hard. September 13th too, and mine's July 13th. So it's like a couple months after. Um, I don't know. Maybe the world was trying to say something, but this movie, let me get into the story a little bit if you don't know much about Spectacular Now. But I suggest you watch it because I'm probably going to spoil some stuff. Um, so Sutter is this sort of he's sort of troubled. He doesn't understand like he lives in the now. He wants that's what he does. Like everything he does, he's doing it right now. He's excited about it. He's happy. He's happy to live in the now, and he doesn't want to think about the future. He doesn't care about his school stuff. He's, sort of failing this class, almost failing this geometry class, and he just doesn't care, but um, I don't know if it doesn't seem like he needs it to graduate, but he just sort of has a sway of himself, and he ends up breaking up with his girl. Ends up, his girlfriend breaks up with him. Whatever. She starts dating this other guy, and he ends up meeting Shailene Woodley's character, Amy, and Amy Finicky, um, is this sweet, sweet fucking person. Like I can see sort of why he's drawn to her, and I can see why she's sort of drawn to him. They're both, he's troubled, because deep down inside, he doesn't think anybody actually loves him. And that's what hits me because every time I drank, I would call up and say nobody loves me and blah blah blah. And maybe maybe I just that maybe that was just the alcohol talking. I don't know, but man, just thinking about this actually does bring tear to my eyes because it's such a like real thing to talk about. So um yeah, where was I? So Sutter and Amy start this relationship, even though I think in the beginning he was a little reluctant because she's not sort of the girl like he imagined himself with, I guess, or whatever. He like in the back of his head, I think he kept thinking that him and his girlfriend, played by Brie Larson, would get back together, and it didn't happen. And there's this amazing scene where her new boyfriend comes to his job and basically wants to fight him because he's like, thinking, what, you guys are still hanging out, you know, all this stuff. And he's trying to say, no, dude, she's all for you. She's interested in you. Nothing, doesn't even like me anymore. There's nothing going on, you know, like that. And then he kind of gives him some advice, which is to, for him, the guy who's all serious to kind of lighten up and not make everything, you know. And he says something to Sutter, I think, that really kind of changes him in a way. But he says to him, like, maybe the everyone's wrong, that you're not the joke that everybody thinks you are, sort of thing. And I really like that. There's that line where he's talking about being, uh, serious about not being serious and, that sort of thing. And then he sort of breaks the girl's heart because all she wants, all the other girl, not Amy, but all the other girl wants is to be absolutely, like she wants a commitment. She wants somebody who is going to be there for her or whatever, and not just live in the now and focus on the future. And so a lot of that is what like kind of leads the way. Eventually, Amy sort of changes him in time. One of the things she does is gets him to want to meet his dad, see where his dad is. His dad's been gone, but he's around somewhere. He hasn't seen him in forever, and his dad just sort of left. But he thinks they just, that mom kicked him out. 'Cause that's what his mom's been telling him, mainly to protect him and stuff from knowing the truth. And so when he actually gets to meet his dad, he sort of sees a lot of himself in his dad, and it hurts him even worse. And there's like really heartbreaking scene where he comes shows up drunk at his house, at his own house, and the mom, played by Jason Lee, who I just adore. She was great in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which is also another coming of age teen flick. It's kind of perfect that she's the mom in this. She comes out and kind of yells at him about stuff that he's just talking about how he doesn't feel loved and that he doesn't think she loves him because, he's too much like his dad. And the mom's, basically tells him that he wasn't, he's nothing like his dad. Like he's the sweetest, most amazing person, and his dad's nothing like that. And I don't know, there's a lot that happens and a lot about alcohol and him having to wrestle with the future and wrestle with the truth about himself and stuff. And it's a deeper movie than, what's on the surface because, when a lot of people probably saw the poster and everything, people think, oh no, it's just a romance movie, kind of like Nicholas Sparks kind of stuff. But to me, there was levels in this movie. There was a lot. And I really, really appreciated that. I really like I don't know, I loved it all. I laughed, I cried, you know, still crying just thinking about it. And it's like a very emotional and very real and feels like sort of in a way like how high school in a way, you know. I mean, I never had a lot of this stuff, but like, you know, it it's just it's one thing after another, and it's such a sweet movie and really really gets me. And I don't know, I loved it. Like I said, it's 5 stars to me. There's not many movies out there that will literally that I'll give 5 stars over. Um, Most of the time I only go up to 4.5, and that's because, in my opinion, um, 5 stars is top tier, and everything. And to me, this is a top tier movie. This scene right here, that's behind me is probably one of the most emotionally ringing scenes where it's it's just the catalyst of everything that's happening in the movie is he's finally gotten the thing he wanted. He's got a cute girl. He's got, and he's finally gonna get to see his dad because she helped him get the guts to stick up and find out where his dad is. And then when he meets his dad's just this loser, played by Kyle Chandler, who just wants nothing to do with him. He'd rather hang out with his buddies at the bar. He'd rather hang out with this girl he's been trying to get. The girl doesn't want the kid, want his son around and everything. He kind of tells his kid to go away, but he'll see him in a little while or whatever. And he has no intention of seeing him. He doesn't care. Like he he had no interest in his son, and that's why he left. And there's even a line about it is like, I didn't, your dad, mom didn't kick me out. I left. And it was so sad. I didn't have that. Thank God. I didn't grow up like without a parent or anything. Like I've been blessed, but I was also blessed or unblessed, whatever you want to call it, with having the alcohol in my genes and stuff. So it happens. And he got a few things from his dad, and his mom still loved him completely. And his sister, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, is just so sweet to him. Um, he says something about how they aren't very close, but uh, you can sort of see that they maybe are, but I don't know. He's very guarded on his true feelings and everything because he wants to just enjoy what's going on in the moment. And that, once again, that brings up the thing of like, that's nice, but we need more. And there's this amazing, like, he's writing a letter to a school, an essay, and in the beginning of the movie, he's trying to write it, and he is cursing and he's doing all these things. By the end of it, he actually writes it. And he even says it might be late, but it's not too late for me. And I mean, that right there is probably the like sole essence of, like, it reminds me of 500 Days of Summer, where the ending is just perfect, you know. Disaster Artist sort of was like that. I mean, the ending was sort of perfect, but the problem with Disaster Artist was like it was the ending of Disaster Artist was sort of fake and wasn't real because Tommy Wiseau never thought of, never got sad that everybody thought his movie was a joke. He would, he would go around and get into it like, oh, yes, I made it as a joke. But he never, as far as I know, he never acted like that to Greg. So there's a little bit of Hollywood writing in there, but in that ending, but um, I don't know. I think that this movie sort of had that perfect ending of like figuring out who he was truly and just going with it and being with the girl that he loves. Um, Amy's so sweet, and I kept wanting to be like, "You're an idiot, man. You need to make sure you're with her." And there's lots of problems. She gets hit by a car at one point because of him, and she still loves him. Like there's one part he gets almost kills them in an accident, and he said, "What?" She's asking him, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" He's like, "What the fuck? I just almost got us into an accident. You're asking me if I'm okay?" Like, but that's just who she is. She cares more, she cares about other people. She doesn't just care about herself. And he sort of cares a lot about himself. And I think she starts sort of rubbing the good stuff into him. And man, just so many, so much great stuff. Caitlin Deaver is in it as well as like Amy's best friend, and just so many great actors. Bob Odenkirk plays his boss, and I loved him to death. Just such a great movie. All in all, I just enjoyed this one. I can't like I can keep talking about it, but it just makes me happy. In a way it's a feel good movie, but in another way it's a sort of messed up coming of age story, and I love both aspects of it. So yeah, I'm saying if you get a chance to watch it, I mean it kind of spoils some shit. So if you haven't seen it, then sorry. Shouldn't have been listening. Kind of was already gonna. I told you I was gonna do that. Um, Shailene Woodley, as you can see, is just so fucking gorgeous and just sweet, and she kind of has this like Jennifer Jason Leigh like you know vibe to her in this movie that I loved, where this sex scene in the movie where I I'm guessing it was her virginity, and everything. It was so sweet and felt so awkward, and I loved it. Like I loved every second of it. Yeah, I adore this movie. I can't say I can't say enough about it. Like tell you how I can't tell you how much I feel like I feel so good about this. Um, but anyway, yeah. If you haven't seen it or you thinking about watching it, definitely go see it. So that's all I'm gonna say. I'm done. 5 stars. You're not probably. I don't know if you'll ever get another 5 star from me on this review stuff. You might one more, but we'll see. Because a lot of these ones are new, and it's really hard for me to give 5 stars to new stuff because, you know, it'd have to be like something that blows my mind. Like in in my letterbox, I don't even know how many I have so far. That's 5 stars, other than obviously like Ed Wood and stuff that my favorites. Um, yeah, most stuff is 4.5, you know, at least. Even Into the Tour was 4.5, but then again, Really, really loved it. Well, Citizen Kane, but that's sort of understandable. Anyway, the next week, week 47 is going to be about a famous person. So I have no idea what I'm going to do yet. I have a couple ideas, but I need to find these movies to be able to watch and review them. So, um, but aside from that, I think I'm really excited. I can't wait to do that one. So I can't wait to do a lot of these. We're almost done. Like, that's scary. That's almost the end of the year, almost end of the tour. And I'm just excited for it. Sorry. Oh, it's really late for me, and I gotta get some editing done for it, and then I gotta go to bed. So, thank you guys for checking this out. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and let me know what you guys think. Um, and until then, see you next week. Bye.